Hey everybody! Today we're going to make Swedish meatballs. This recipe is easy as it is authentic. And they taste even better than the ones you can buy frozen at that one place that's been accused of using horse meat. Just saying. Anyway, I have no proof of that. That's a joke. Maybe. I don't know. So what we have here is an onion. We're going to dice it up, and we're going to fine dice it up. Because you want it to be small. You don't want big hunks of onion in your meatballs. This is 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and we're going to add about a half an onion's worth of the diced up onions. Then we're going to add a pinch of salt, and we are going to stir it around. Just whatever you do not forget your pinch of salt. It helps break it down, and they cook a little quicker. Once they've been going a few minutes, they're nice and translucent. We're going to transfer these over to a bowl. And while these onions are still warm, we're going to add our spices. Why we do it now is that we put the spices directly on those warm onions. It'll make them bloom and the flavors will be great. Everything's a half a teaspoon. We got salt and we have pepper. Still a half a teaspoon, trust me. Then we're going to add allspice, ground allspice, and ground nutmeg. You can use fresh or you can use like I did right here. Now we're going to do Worcestershire sauce. A little bit of this goes a very long way. So don't overdo it or that's all you will taste. We're going to add a full teaspoon of this. Then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, dried breadcrumbs. It can be either plain or Italian, along with 2 eggs. Then we're going to grab our trusty whisk and we're going to mix this together until it's all combined. As I mix, I'm looking and I'm thinking, this looks a little thick. Did I forget something? Oh yeah, milk. Just a splash. And what that does, it helps everything combine together and it just gives it a super highway for the flavors to meet. Once we get this all mixed up and whisked together nice and smooth, we're going to let it set for about 10 minutes. That way all the breadcrumbs absorb all that good yummy flavor. Next we're going to add our meat, beef and pork. I'm using 80-20 because you do not want to go super lean on the beef or the pork. And the reason for this is you'll have tough meatballs. And who wants a tough old meatball in their mouth? Nobody. You want your meatballs to be tender. Now, you can mix this with a spoon. I prefer to use my flesh mitts. Get in there because you want to make sure the pork and the beef are well combined. Once that happens, use this little scooping method. Flip it over and stir it in that way. Don't overmix or again, you'll have tough meatballs. Let it sit for like 10 minutes and then on a foil lined pan, we're going to use our trusty little scoop and we're going to scoop out these meatballs and we're going to put them right on there. Now, if you like, you can hand roll them, but I prefer to use the scoop because they're all the same size. They all cook at the same time. And who cares if it has a flat bottom? They're still great. But you can roll them. This is a half a cup of butter, a half a cup of butter and a half a cup of flour. So we're going to mix this around and we're just going to cook it for a few minutes just to get the raw, floury taste out. This is our roux for our gravy. Once it's golden brown, which it will be right about now. There it is. Bam. Look how good that looks. Normally I would use beef broth, but I didn't have any. So I'm using better than bouillon. If you've never used it, it's awesome. It's a very thick paste and it packs a very good punch. So to this, we're going to add water a little bit at a time just to help break it up. And I got my trusty plastic whisk out. Once that starts to break up, just add a little bit more and you can see how it goes. Look how dark it's getting. That better than bouillon stuff is amazing. And it gives great rich flavor. Once you think it's all broke up, just keep adding water. And we're going to stir this around until it starts to thicken. You can add more water if you need to, or just let it boil and cook down if you add too much. It doesn't really matter. It looks good. What do you think? Oh yeah, Worcestershire sauce. Why do I always want to forget that? Just a dash or 2 or 5, maybe 6. I didn't count, but no more than 6 for sure. So we're going to stir this around. Look how thick and luscious that's looking. I'm telling you what, I'd take a bath in that gravy. Let's get our tasty spoon out and try it. Oh, yes, I am a happy dude. Look at how thick and bubbly. You just gotta love gravy. Oh, here we go with sour cream. This is a half a cup of sour cream. And what this does, it just makes it really super smooth. I'm just using the gravy to melt the sour cream off of that spoon. Then I'm going to break out the big boy, the whisk. And I'm going to whisk it until it's smooth and delicious. Once you get it there, taste it. Let your eyes roll back in your head and turn it off because we're going to add the meatballs. And here they are, fresh out of the oven. What I did, after the 20 minutes was up, 25 minutes, I turned the broiler on for 2 minutes just to brown the top. And we're going to use a spoon to lift these off there, leaving all that fat that has cooked out behind on the foil-lined pan. We're just going to transfer them all over to the skillet of gravy, and we're going to throw it back on the stove. Gravy and Swedish meatballs. What's better than that? I don't even know. So we're just going to stir this around and heat it all through because the gravy will have cooled off just a hair. So once it's warm, we're going to throw them in a bowl of egg noodles. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness gracious. Top it with some flat leaf parsley just to make it look pretty. And let's dive in here with a fork. Look at that meatball fall apart. That is, oh man, that's good. Oh, noodle, you get back on my fork because I'm going to eat you. Look at this. Just, would you look at it? Look right at it. Get in my mouth. Oh, yes. I'm telling you, ain't nothing better than this. I really hope you try it. I'm going to do the happy clap and the finger dance. That is good stuff. Jimmy Dixon.